But I said, I wasn't thinking. He went, man, that's really messed up. I'm sitting in here sober and you're in here drunk, man. You didn't even think about me, you know. And but that was, you know, that's where it was. But we did smoke.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show.
Hello everybody, Harvey Talks Prison here. I want to talk about Thanksgiving. And a lot of it's going to be having to do with Hooch or Pruno, whatever you want to call it. But when I first got to prison, for the first few years, the meals were, the holiday meals, all of them, were huge. But especially Thanksgiving and Christmas. You'd have 2 trays. You'd hardly carry them. You had to be careful carrying them. You sat down at a table, you know, it held 4, and there was hardly any place to put anything. You had soda, you had dressing, you had turkey, you had ham, you had cranberries, like this green beans or something. Then you had another one that had like pumpkin pie and whipped cream. Later that became sweet potato pie. Ice cream, soda, all this. And over time, it got smaller and smaller. I never really did complain about it because that was the holiday meals were the best meals that they served. But you would have some people that would complain. I mean, it wouldn't matter how much they got or what it was, they would have to complain about it. That's just the way they were. Never could understand that. Then you had others who would not even go to the chow hall because they didn't want to. They wasn't out there with their family, so they wasn't going to go to the holiday meals in prison. You know, whether it's Christmas or Thanksgiving. Sometimes they might go to the other ones, but Thanksgiving and Christmas they skipped. Some would go over and give it away. Others wouldn't give it away. They wouldn't even go over there. But like I said, over time it diminished, got smaller, and then they started splitting it up into 2. You know, part of it at lunch and part of it at supper. And it's still pretty much the same thing, but some of it was different, you know, like less. But we used to, on Thanksgiving and Christmas especially, we used to make hooch. You know, some people know it as pruno. For those of you who don't know what either of those mean, it means homemade wine. I can't believe there's people who don't know what that is. But anyway, we he's talking kind of loud in there. But anyway, we would make hooch, and I remember one time on Christmas. I think this was the first, not Christmas, the Thanksgiving. I think this was the first time I drank hooch. We'd made hooch, and we was down there smoking. We was drinking it. On Thanksgiving, I worked in the hobby craft, which they considered a job, which I never could understand. We never got paid for it, that I know of. But we did make money selling what we made down there. We was able to sell it in the visitor room to visitors and stuff, and even on the outside. But I got pretty drunk down there. But I started heading back before everybody else did, you know, and I staggered and everything. And these 2 guys sitting down there on this bench, man, he's drunk. And they jumped up and they grabbed me. They took me back down. Man, keep him down here. Keep it, you know, he's gonna get busted. But we really wasn't. People really wasn't worried about getting busted. You just get thrown in the hole, you know. But if they caught you drunk, a lot of times they just send you to your cell because they didn't want to do the paperwork. And really, the only time they wrote you up if they actually caught you with that. And it almost seemed like they didn't want to do that. So I leave a few minutes after they got me down there, and again I take off. It seemed like a few minutes. It might have been longer. You have to go up these stairs when you go hit the housing unit, you know, housing unit 3. You get up the top of these stairs, and on one side you have A side, on the other side, as you're going in, the left side is B side, and that's where I lived. But I didn't live on the bottom walk anymore like I did when I first got there. I lived up there on 8 walk. So I go, and they had the gate closed for some reason. So I go through the gate, and I stop and I wait for a guard to open it. And he goes, "It's open." And he kind of laughs, and he walks over there and he pulls it open. And he says, "Are you drunk?" And I didn't say anything. He goes, "You get up to your cell, and I don't want to see you as long as I'm working here. You know, wait till my shift's over before you come back out. I don't want to do any paperwork." He has somebody else leave me up there. So I get up. The guy's laughing as he's taking me up because I'm having trouble getting up these stairs and stuff. Got to go 4 flights of stairs. And other people, you know, they're seeing me, they're just kind of laughing, shaking their heads. It gets me down in there and gets me in my cell and everything, you know. And guard shuts the door back behind me, you know. My cellie's in there. He goes, "Damn, man." He goes, "Why didn't you bring some back?" I said, "Man, didn't think about it." And they wouldn't have said nothing if they'd seen me bring it back. I don't think they would have. I mean, they'd let us take fruit, milk, apples, and everything else out of the kitchen, so I don't see why they wouldn't say anything with me. See me with a tumbler or something with it, you know. And they probably wouldn't have even checked. But I said, I wasn't thinking. He goes, "Man, that's really messed up. I'm sitting in here sober, and you're in here drunk, man. You didn't even think about me, you know." And but that was, you know, that's the way it was. But we did smoke one, you know. I smoked another one with him, you know. But over time, it went away where, you know, after I left there and went to Farmington, things had changed by then, you know. They will write you up for having hooch, you know, or being drunk, whatever, they'll write you up. And over time it got to where if they catch you with it, they might even take you to court over it. But I remember one time in Licking, in the kitchen, I think it was South Central Correctional Center in Licking, some people that worked in the kitchen was making hooch, and in the ceiling they had these, it was, you could push up on it and there was a space up there. And that's where they had the hooch. But it was so heavy, it was starting to bow down, you know, a little bit. So this guard seen it, and he gets a ladder, he gets up there, and he sees what it is. In fact, he almost dropped it. It almost came down on him, and he's trying to find out who did it, you know, and he's trying to write up put everybody in the kitchen in the hole. He couldn't do that, you know, and because there was a lot of kitchen workers, and you know, I'm going to find out who did it. What he should have done, since he found it up there, just left it up there, and just watched for somebody to get it, you know. That's all he had to do. But he didn't, and he never did find out who did it, you know. But he was one of those guards that whenever he writes somebody up, it's a big thing to him. You know, like he done busted the most wanted person in the world, you know, and that's the way he treated it. You know, he'd write you up. He's the type to write you up for a pack of sugar. You're trying to walk out of the kitchen, and so this was a big thing for him, you know, and he was showing the white shirts and look what I found, look what I found, and like it was a big deal and thing. I guess by that time it was a big deal to them, you know, but he was just overdoing it as far as I'm concerned. But there's people, I think about people that's incarcerated during the holidays, you know, I can't help but do that. But I also think about what really gets me is, because my family went through this, is the loved ones of the incarcerated spend these holidays without their loved ones, you know. And there's other people in like homes and stuff that have nobody, you know. I just hope somebody goes and sees them, you know. You know, that's what they would love, you know. But so it's people like that that I think about, and not just the incarcerated, but families of the incarcerated, those who are spending their time alone during the holidays, you know. That's sad, really. So I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are